All right, third episode in one day.
Okay, so I want to introduce our guest, Willie Keeler. Willie and I went to elementary school way back in the day. He lives in Pittsburgh now, went to UP, and he's been doing a little bit of sports writing. So, how's it going? Tell us a little bit about your writing.
Yeah, so it's been pretty awesome. So I'm writing for 12th Man Rising. Currently, Seattle Seahawks blog website for fan-sided. So they're at 12th Man Rising on Twitter. I'm at WTKeeler24 on Twitter. So give my stuff a look.
We have another segment, and this, guys, I want to propose to you is what company would you want to get sponsored by? Could it be Nike, Adidas, one of the big players, or something else? I want to hear what you guys think, and yeah, let's get into it. Riota, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I mean, I did a little bit of research and looked at, all the different companies and options, but I think it really depends on what kind of, sport I'd be playing as a pro athlete. If I was a soccer athlete, if I was playing for Arsenal and I just won a Ballon d'Or last year, I think it's between Adidas and Nike for me. But I think Adidas because I have invested in Adidas a little bit more in terms of stock, and they're one of the first sports companies to really focus on the whole recycled material and sustainable clothing out of all the other companies we see. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard of like the Parley campaign that they introduced a couple of years ago. I bought one of those Parley shoes 2 or 3 years ago, and pretty cool that they're really trying to set a goal and standard for sports companies in terms of how they reuse plastic. And I think they set a goal, like I read on LinkedIn the other day, like maybe by 2024, like try to have all clothes or a certain percentage of clothes all made by recycled materials. And it's just a really cool thing they're doing. And we see a lot of other companies doing it, but not, in the sports world like Adidas. So I think Adidas is one of my favorites. They have my respect there.
Yeah, for soccer, I haven't had a lot of Adidas ones. I haven't even played soccer in a while, but I kind of went at it and I tried to do. So first of all, I'm going to do New Balance because I have a fun fact.
Okay.
And this is for basketball, but I kind of put it for soccer just because I already have a basketball shoe. But so Matt Bonner, who played for the San Antonio Spurs in like 2006 to 2016, he won two finals championships with San Antonio, but he was actually sponsored by New Balance. And during the 2010 to 2011 NBA season, he was sent a prototype of the signature New Balance shoe. And he was like, okay, I got this new prototype. I'm going to go play in them, right? Like every athlete does. Right before during the game, the shoe falls apart. And then New Balance, right after the game, says, you weren't supposed to wear those. They were just prototypes. We are going to terminate your sponsorship. It's a fun fact. So why would I choose this shoe? I want to reinvent it and, just.
Do you want to be second to Kawhi though?
Well, I mean, I could talk to Kawhi and we could
Have you also looked at Kawhi's shoes? They're not very aesthetic to me. I don't really like the way they look.
New Balance is big in baseball, right?
Yes, if I was a baseball athlete, for shoes, I'd definitely choose New Balance.
Well, for baseball, oh yeah, I didn't pick a baseball shoe. Maybe I'll do New Balance too.
We'll talk about it. But have you looked at the Kawhi shoes?
No, I just looked at the Matt Bonner shoes.
Oh, I don't really care for Kawhi shoes, honestly. Out of all the basketball shoes, I probably would consider New Balance maybe last for basketball.
Well, this is for soccer, Riota.
I know. Okay. Continue, Drew, unless should we switch it over to Willie?
No, that was my fun fact. Okay. Willie, you go.
Well, I'm going to be kind of like anticlimactic because like pretty much for everything, maybe except maybe for me, it's just like 50-50. Just give me Nike or Jordan, honestly. Because like I know they're kind of like they're owned by the same people, but like Zion's always like wearing like Jordan stuff. It's not like they really like cross like Nike athletes. Never really see them like wearing like Jordan stuff. Like they just get sent like Nike stuff. But like I know like CC Sabathia is sponsored by Jordan, so he has like every pair of Jordans ever made. And then like Zion, like same thing. Like they just send him like all the new Jordans, stuff like that. it's like it kind of like sparked that as like, and like Bobby Wagner, his like he's always looked like his shoes are always like because he'll wear like he's pretty much like he'll wear like Jordan 1 like football cleats. And
I think
so
Earl
cool.
Thomas was too when he was with the
Earl
Seahawks,
Thomas
wasn't
too,
he?
yeah. And then like he has like football gloves that are Jordan, and like they sent him like the gold shoes. Like if they like seen that unboxing, they sent him like gold ones. It's like, but like I was like looking at like every single pair I own except for like I have a pair of like Adidas slides and I have like flip flops. I have a pair of Tims and dress shoes, but like every single pair of shoes that I wear, like I wear outside the house, like usually are Nikes. Like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I have 9 pairs of Nikes. Like other than that, I have 1 pair of Adidas shoes that I'm probably throwing out because they're pretty like old, and they're like my crap shoes. But like yeah, every pair.
So it sounds like if you were
I would have to be Nike.
If you were the Cy Young, pitcher for the Seattle Mariners, you'd choose Jordan. If you were a basketball player, you won Rookie of the Year, you'd be Jordan or Nike.
I mean, I think I just want either one of the like basketball. I mean, like basketball, I'd want to be Nike because like the basketball shoes, I like Nike basketball shoes more, which is kind of like funny, like how that works. Like if I'm basketball, I don't want to be Jordan. But like I don't know, I just don't want to wear Jordans like playing basketball. I just want to wear Nike.
Yeah, see, I have all this.
I want to wear Jordans walking around.
Yeah, I also have this weird kind of like mindset. Like I feel like people who wear Jordans to play basketball, like I just like it doesn't click for me. And that's probably only because we see the pros doing it. Because like my college friends or like Drew, like the group of people that we play basketball, like no one wears Jordans for basketball because those are really only like special for the pros, right? Like I don't think we could go and buy Jordan playable like activity shoes, right? We'd only buy casual.
No,
or am I wrong?
No, Russ and Melo have a shoe. They have a signature shoe. It's kind of lame though. That's what I'm saying.
But we can like buy it and we can buy it and use it, or is that only for them?
It's like $100. It's like 100.
Oh, it is.
Or something.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
I think. There's a bunch of them.
I think Jordan's become so mainstream in the sense that when he first became big, everybody wanted his shoe, and not just for basketball. They just started to wear it whenever, just because of how big he was as an icon. I think that's why we've also now associate Jordan with like one of like the older Jordans, and like how they're like, oh, you can't play in them because they're so expensive, and that's kind of why.
No, yeah. They also like you can like see like how the like technology of the shoes like gotten better because like I'm pretty sure because like you're saying like no one wears Jordans anymore to like play basketball. I think it's also because they haven't touched the models of the shoes. So, like the 1 is the same, the 2 is the same. You can kind of look at it. I mean, like the 1 is like a flat bottom, it's kind of like a Converse All-Star type of shoe.
I see.
And then, but then think about like, like later on like the 11s or like 12s where they're like, like they're like the bottoms are more like normal basketball shoes today. But yeah, like people just don't wear them because they're just like so expensive. But I think that's the other thing too. Like people don't wear like, 1s or 2s to play basketball just because they're like, there's just the technology stayed the same, and now there's shoes that are just so much more sturdy and better for basketball.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I think it's like, but it's like Jordan wise for basketball. I mean, it's not like a bad list. It's something like Russ, Blake Griffin, Melo. Melo was the big first one that signed with Jordan. But just like I just like imagine being like CC Sabathia, just like. Even because back in the day too, he was still like technically like signed to Jordan, but like he was wearing like Nike cleats because he didn't have like Jordan cleats. But now they have like some pretty cool like Jordan baseball cleats. Like they have ones that a lot of guys are wearing, and then outside you'd just be wearing all Jordans. Like that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be a cool like general brand.
Yeah.
Drew, if you were the starting point guard for the Clippers, what would you do?
Clippers, Nike.
I don't know. I just generally chose.
I would do Nike.
Nike?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I played with the only basketball shoes I've ever really played with were the Kobe's, and I just like the feel of it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I love the low top like Kobe's.
Yeah, so I think I would have to go Nike, and not just because I don't like Jordan, but like you guys have said, I think it's preference at this point. If I didn't play the sport, like football, I might try for like maybe a smaller brand and try and like build that up. But for basketball, it would definitely have to be Nike, just because they're consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Okay.
I mean, didn't they give LeBron James like a lifetime deal
Yeah, there's
a year
I
ago?
don't remember if he accepted it, but I remember he was offered a $1.2 billion lifetime deal
Yeah,
with
that's
Nike.
insane. Like literally sign me.
I think I would try to be Neymar. Like now I'm thinking, like, because he's like the Nike Jordan crossover. Because like
right,
they made a Jordan soccer cleat just for Neymar. So like that would be my life goal. Would be
that would be sick.
Try to get the crossover because I want both Jordan and Nike.
That would be cool.
Like, and the PSG jersey is so cool too.
Is the PSG jersey Jordan now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have one. I forget. I think I put it in the.
Oh, okay, so that's why.
I have the black one. I have an Mbappe like black PSG.
Oh, you do? That's so pretty cool. Because
But
I mean, Neymar still wears Nikes, right? He wears Mercurials.
Yeah, but he got a shoe made. He got a shoe made by Jordan. It's like red and black. It's like designed by like Michael Jordan and Neymar, like like made it, and it has kind of like a Jordan like pattern on it. It's pretty cool looking.
Okay.
What do you guys think? Oh,
go ahead.
What do you guys think about having like, like soccer jerseys usually have like a company name on them or like an advertisement compared to like an NBA jersey or NFL jersey? What do you guys think about that kind of style in the sense of like a big, like, I don't know, because I'm thinking about like, what I'm thinking about is like for the Sounders, how they have Xbox 360, and then for like Clippers, it would just be Clippers. So what do you guys think about having that kind of like style
I don't really
of jersey?
I don't know. There's always like nothing was better than, and one of my roommates was a Yankees fan, just from upstate New Jersey. The funniest thing was when the Nike jerseys came out for baseball, and the Yankees fans flipped out because they were like, "Oh, the swoosh ruined the Yankees jersey. Like you got to take this." And there's like literally like some blog website put up like, "What do you guys think of the jersey? Like the new jersey with the Nike swoosh?" And there was just like 500 comments, and it's just all like that Twitter meme of like the guy in like his car, like it with sunglasses on, like that's what I mean. Like literally all those like middle-aged guys who are just like 27 championships ruined the jersey, blah blah blah. I was so funny. Like I could care less. I think the swoosh kind of looks cool. Like I'm a big jersey guy, but I don't know. I think the swoosh looks cool on the Mariners jersey. I've always been like, when they did that change like 4 years ago, when literally all they did is like flip the silver and they flipped like the silver and the aqua around. So now like the aqua's on the outside, silver's on the inside. I think that made it look so cool. Add the swoosh to it. I mean, I'm a huge Nike guy. I think you put a swoosh on anything, it makes it look cooler.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I could honestly like care less about like, the sponsors. I think it's really hit a point where people have stopped like caring about sponsors, and it more turns into like a cool thing now where like Ryota and I were saying, like when the Sounders went over to Zulily, it was like, oh, that's so lame. Like it ruins the jersey, blah, blah, blah. But like Xbox, it was cool. Like, So I think it just like depends on the sponsor. Like, and then like for the NBA, I mean, I think there was some backlash at first from some of those like Yankees people who say it ruins the jersey or whatever, but like every single team has one now. And so like, I think it like, I don't know, like, I mean, there's some ones that maybe stand out a little bit more and look kind of weird, but I mean, I don't know. You're just watching the Warriors. It says Rocketson in the corner, like whatever. Like the WNBA has a full body, not body, what's like a chest. They have a full like chest advertisement in the WNBA. They do it. Like,
they do. I think the Seattle Storm has Swedish hospital.
Yeah, they have Swedish on the Storm.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it really depends, right? Because for soccer, they're so much more focused on the emblem, right?
Exactly,
the Sounders logo. Like they don't write out like New Orleans. Like basketball is so focused on like this large letter. I think maybe it has just something to do with like, it's a tank top. Like I wonder if, I haven't really thought about it, but like that could be part of the reason. Yeah, I'm looking at the Storm jersey. I'll pull it up. I'll screen share so everyone else can see it on YouTube.
It's Swedish. Yeah, it has Swedish like right. Across. And I remember like the Liberty. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like
and now AT&T too. Yeah.
Yeah, and that makes sense, and that gets more money for the WNBA, especially because I think it's especially important for them because they're trying to make sure players are getting better pay, and so I totally respect that, and I think it looks fine, but it reminds me of a soccer jersey more or less, right?
Like
just because
like
we're so
Ryota,
used to it.
look up like look up like Ionescu Liberty jersey. Like when they were like showing, when they were like doing all of like the hyping her up. When they were hyping her up after she got like drafted and stuff, like it's like aqua. It looks pretty cool even with like the ad on it. Because I remember like, yeah, I think it has like AT&T like right across it, but like I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I think it looks cool.
Oh my gosh.
We might see also more of it.
Yeah,
just
like I think
because...
that looks like I don't have a problem with that. Like I could see the NBA doing something like that someday. Like I think that looks pretty cool.
That's
like
but that's their. It says
AT&T.
Liberty and their logo, right? Storm is just one logo, two advertisements.
Yeah.
I also want to show you this one. Chelsea's came out with a new jersey.
Yeah, they have 3.
And some people say it looks weird. So again, it depends on like, the advertiser. Like people said, oh, no one likes Zulily because it's like a, women's fashion company. But I mean, I think it looks fine. Just people don't respect it as much as Xbox because most people are guys watching.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like it's actually like a thing. Like I could see it one day being like an American thing too. Like we're talking about. But, like I don't have any problem with being like I used to like love Samsung on Chelsea. I thought it looked pretty cool. And then when they went to Yokohama, the Japanese tire brand, it ruined it. I don't know.
It's an interesting thing to talk about. Do you guys have any other shoe brands that you would want to aspire to be? You can pick a sport if you want.
Yeah. Well, if I was a starting point guard, starting point guard for the Pelicans, if I was 6'5" and whatever, like all-star, on the bench. I really like because I don't want to
big baller brand.
I don't want to brag too much. No, not big baller brand, but I really like
not a big baller.
I really like Puma and Converse basketball shoes.
They are getting some headway.
I think the Puma ones look really cool. And like they have a couple, promoters from the basketball side, but like I mean, how many of them are all-stars?
They signed a bunch of young guys.
Yeah, they are finding a lot of young guys too.
Ayton, Bagley, I think.
Yeah, they all have some Rudy Gay. Like, biggest one. So like I could be that star for Puma, and I really like the Puma shoes. I think they look comfortable. I've heard like one of Drew and I's friends has them, and they said it's pretty comfortable, but they're kind of flat. But the Converse shoes, have you guys seen the Converse basketball shoes?
I think MPJ is Puma too.
I have not seen the Converse shoes.
MVJ on for Puma. But I'll show you the Converse basketball shoes. Their main
what's
guy is
interesting
Kelly Oubre.
is because the Converse shoes used to be the shoe.
Exactly.
And now it's been Nike just because of the whole MJ thing. But now maybe they're making a resurgence.
I'll show you guys
wild
shoes.
And Converse had Dwayne Wade for a while.
Oh, they did?
Remember?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So this is a Converse basketball shoe. It's not like the original. They kind of made it so it's like slimmer though. Like it's not as bulky as it looks, right?
I remember that like a year or two ago, they said they're going to try to kind of bring back the original sort of thing. Yeah. Like that one that you're kind of showing
the
there.
Star.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I think Kelly Oubre is their main promoter, but I think these look pretty cool.
Oh yeah. I do actually. When you said Kelly Oubre, I think that is right.
Oh, Draymond Green wears this? I don't know if that's right or not.
But yeah, it definitely maybe they'll make another resurgence back into the game. I don't know. I think Nike's kind of had the market share, and I think
they definitely do. And Nike, you have to respect Nike a lot because they're doing a lot of like charity and social justice, social reform. I think that's kind of like Adidas and Nike are kind of leading the social issue like social issues forward. Like Adidas is kind of environmental, while Nike's a little bit more like the equality, female empowerment, which is I think really. I mean, I respect them for that too.
Yeah. I think Nike's kind of like taking over. Nike's kind of like taking over especially the United States, but like even think about like England. Like I think they're trying to, because like a few years ago, I mean, Nike was in England, the top flight. They had Arsenal, and that was it. And now they lost Arsenal, but now they have Chelsea, Tottenham, or they had Man City too. But I'm like, so now they have Chelsea, Tottenham, and Liverpool. So like. They have the English champions now, and
are you talking about Nike right now?
Yeah.
I think they lost a couple though, because Liverpool is
No, they're going next year. They're getting Liverpool.
Oh, next year they're getting them?
Yeah, they signed like the biggest deal ever. Something
Oh,
like
wow. I didn't
15
realize
years,
that.
like billions of dollars. And then think about American pro sports. Only one they don't have is hockey, right? Hockey's Adidas, and because they used to have nothing, and now Reebok used to have everything, and now they have.
It's crazy how
Now they have NBA, MLB, a lot of NCAA teams too.
Yeah.
I mean, think about there's like a lot of teams that used to be like Adidas or Under Armour switched over to Nike, and so then NFL, NBA, MLB, and then so then Adidas has the NHL, but then and then they have the WNBA too, and then the UFC's contract with Reebok is up, I think, at the end of the year, so Nike might be going after that too. Like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, wow. Especially if Nike or Adidas or any other ones get like into college and are able to sponsor them, just having that on like a national stage, like Clemson or Alabama wearing your jerseys also brings in a lot of revenue because a lot of fans, and I know I have a few Husky jerseys, but just buying those also, I mean, it's not like you're going to get the player's last name, but you will get that kind of like, I don't know, to show your spirit. You're obviously going to get that. So definitely
capitalize. Also talked about.
Crazy too.
Go ahead, Willie.
What was crazy too that I thought about was that think about the college football playoff. Don't hold me down with this because I don't remember if it was right, but I know the first few years I'm for sure it was right. I think the only non-Nike team to ever be in the college football playoff was Notre Dame. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, just like looking back on it, like the first original college football playoff, it was because like I'm just like thinking like the big schools, like Auburn hasn't been in it, Notre Dame was in it once, but then like the first few college football playoffs, like Florida State, Oregon, Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma now recently, like every single team in it now, like Washington.
Yep.
Every single team. Now they're Adidas, but they were Nike at the time. Like they're always, because like I just always remember seeing that, like for the college football playoff, they have that like silver Nike logo that they give all the teams on their jerseys. Like every single team's Nike in the college football playoff. Basketball's a little different because you have like Kansas and UCLA, but yeah, every single team that's in the college football playoff is always Nike. It's kind of crazy, like just like to think about it. Ohio State, another one.
I think it is definitely interesting. I mean, UW just switched over to Adidas, and now you're having that whole transition. And it's kind of crazy because I feel like in football, and I might be a little bit biased, but I feel like football, like the company has just so much leeway on how to design that uniform and kit. So that kind of gives them more like, okay, I'd rather have a Nike, customize a Nike than maybe like a basketball, just because you can like show your own like color patterns. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. It's weird. Nike has that influence. And I didn't even think about that until you brought that up. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. It is funny too. It is funny too. Like, last thing I'll kind of say about that is like, I was really scared about moving over to Adidas with UW. I was kind of like mad about it because like I'm a huge Nike guy, but like I thought Nike kind of started to ruin some of these UW jerseys with like the black accents. I thought were kind of weird, and I thought like the new UW jerseys are sweet. I don't know, it's just gold helmets, gold pants, purple jersey, and on the road you have the white jersey, purple pants, and it's
exactly
like the letters and numbers are just look like Washington. I don't know. Like the old, I have like because I have like the Jake Browning one.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like I have this one. I got like one of like like one of these ones. I thought they were kind of lame,
I mean,
they have like the black. They have like the black sleeve.
I don't think anything for me. Nothing beats like, the early 2000s Husky kit and just like.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, and I wish they brought that back, but maybe that's too old. But yeah, Rio, did you have any other shoe company you want to talk about, or anyone that you personally like?
No, I think we covered those, but I mean, I just actually, we haven't talked about Under Armour, but we don't really need to talk about Under Armour.
Who is sponsored by Under Armour?
I mean, only some athletes.
Is anybody known to
Maybe some
be?
soccer teams, but
They had, I remember, because like I kind of like, since like being like a business student, kind of like following some of this like business stuff. I remember reading, I think it was like Darren Ravel tweeted about it because he's always like tweeting stuff like this. They had 1 year where they were like on fire because they had Brady won the MVP in the Super Bowl, Steph won the MVP in the NBA Finals, and Jordan Spieth won the Masters or USO, something like that, and he was like the #1 golfer in the world. So the best golfer, football player, basketball player who all won these big championships, they're all Under Armour athletes.
Wow.
So it was like a big deal. And Bryce Harper, but he didn't win a championship, but like he's like the big Under Armour baseball guy.
Well, so they're
But other
making
than that,
they're making a
kind of
move.
suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been struggling, but
I mean,
okay.
to be honest with you, and I think we saw this with Jordan, you just need one player, really, you know, because Nike was nothing when they didn't have Jordan. You know, they were still competing with Converse. So all it takes is betting on one person, and then boom, you're there. But then again, Nike,
because Under Armour with Steph.
Yeah,
that totally changed their thing. And Adidas,
and Brady.
Exactly. Yeah.
But people aren't really going like people, because people would just like, people would get like when Steph had, it was like, I want to say it was like the Steph 3 or something like that. It was like the big one that people went crazy over and actually like started buying, and people would actually wear Steph's shoes to play basketball. And then with Adidas, it was I think it was D Rose. People, because it was like always about Jordans and always about Jordans, you know, everyone would wear Jordans. And then like kind of at like early 2010s, I remember D Rose, like Adidas shoes are pretty cool, and people would like buy those. But other than that, I mean, I can't think of an Adidas athlete that people have gone out. Like Lillard isn't like that big of a deal. I don't know. That's with his shoes. But yeah, I think Under Armour, their last hope is Steph, pretty much.
I do remember the craze with D Rose and a lot of people getting those. One of my friends was a huge Derrick Rose fan, and I remember he picked those up. But it is a shame when you have such a star and then he goes through injuries.
Yeah.
It kind of loses its appeal because that you're associated with that brand. So
yeah.
I also want to add, we were talking about market share, right? You know, like athletes. Pretty soon we might see college athletes being able to get, you know, sponsor endorsements.
Yeah, exactly.
So that'll be interesting to see if that happens and how that changes the landscape. I mean, I feel like most people, I mean, I don't think they're going to make a signature shoe for like a college player ever, but they might have them in advertisements. I don't know if you guys will think that'll be that influential compared to, you know, have Curry having his own shoe, PG having his own shoe and stuff like that.
Well, I saw a thing too that was like pretty crazy and mind blowing, is that one of the big things is that it would really benefit women's sports, because women's sports, they don't have that much of an outlet to like get like sponsorship deals like that. Like when women's sports, like when women's athletes like are at their highest, it's always in college. Like gymnastics, it's always when they're like college age and like in the Olympics where you can't make money.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, think about college players like Diggins, and you know, I hope it doesn't happen to Ionescu. I think she might be the one that kind of changes it. But like this thing, like they're always big deal in college, and so like I saw like obviously it's going to be the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. But like I remember seeing like a thing of like potential earnings just from like 2019 if they were able to accept sponsorships. It was like Sabrina Ionescu was worth like 15 million. And then like it was like Haley Cruz, like the softball player who like makes like the TikToks at Oregon, and she was like has such like a social media following. Her potential earnings like 5 million or something like that. And so like some of these like big basketball players, they have like such like high potential earnings. And so then just think about like in men's sports, like Zion, his 1 year in college, like dude, he could have been making $20-something million probably just in like a shoe deal or advertisements, you know?
Zion ended up signing 75, or Nike signed him for 75 million, literally the day before he got eligible. So it's just crazy. And then, I mean, you're right. Women definitely, their biggest profit would be in the NCAA, because the NCAA has enough money to, you know, or like that, they have that platform. And then when you get into the WNBA, it's kind of downsized because you're competing with more of like the NBA and like other sports. So I think you're right. I mean, there definitely should be profit for.
Yeah, and I also want to add, Willie was talking about, you know, some of those for some female sports, like, yeah, their height of their careers is in college. So like,
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
example, many of the U.S. gymnastics stars, they're usually still in college, or not high school, but they're still in college, so they can't make money.
Well, I remember like 17, 16, yeah.
Exactly, right. So, and like when we saw Simone Biles and like her teammates, like Laurie Hernandez, and I forgot what her other teammates' names were, but they were like still in college, I think. So, like some of them went to UCLA, but yeah, they can't make money. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and gymnastics careers tend to end like after 25, because like you're not as flexible, so you can't do as many of those acrobatic things. So yeah, they're like career spans really short. So if
Mhm.
we allow college athletes to get paid through sponsorships, those Olympic athletes who don't even get paid for being in the Olympics, who don't make money by performing in college, they have potential
Yeah.
to star in commercials, and that's huge because again, the dominant we see females mostly in gymnastics that are famous. Guys are there, but they're not as famous, So
Yeah.
also softball. I mean, remember Danielle Laurie from UW? Like
Mm-hmm.
she was so famous across the world, but she didn't make a dime. And if you can't play, there's no pro league, right? As far as I know, as big as the MLB or anything, they can't make money. So you're right. Endorsements will make a huge difference, especially for female sports, because there's so many sports
So
that don't have like a big as professional, league.
yeah, because I was curious. So like you just said that, so I just like looked it up really quickly. So Simone Biles was committed to go to the biggest gymnastics school in America, UCLA. Like they win like everything in gymnastics. She was committed to go to UCLA before Rio 2016,
Okay.
and then she ended up not going because she got like financial advice to like go pro and like
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
make money off of sponsorships and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Because like she only has, and like I remember I've been hearing like how she's kind of in trouble. How next year, because it's like it's insanely rare for gymnastics athletes to go like to Olympics. And so she's still like top of the world, but she's getting past her prime because prime for gymnastics is like 16 to 20
Exactly.
or something like that. So now
Mm-hmm.
she's like 21, 22 or something like that. And so now she's so it's a huge deal that now the Olympics are getting pushed back 1 year
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
she's still like the number one, I think, in the United States, but like she has to do it again next year. So, but like that's exactly like kind of like what we're saying. Like, if, I think maybe that might happen too in the future. Like maybe if they don't have the thing, maybe like the next Sabrina Ionescu, if she's a freshman year, will go pro so she can make money off sponsorships and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and we're talking about like the 1%, just a
Exactly.
few
Yeah.
that can get the sponsorship and have the opportunity to do that. And that also ties back to like hardest sport, because of the
Mhm.
longevity is so short. But yeah. All right. Do you guys have anything else you guys want to talk about?
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's
All
good.
right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on, Willie. We really appreciate it. Great insights as always as well. Go check out his writing. I'm definitely going to go do that just because I want to hear about all of the good stuff. But yeah, and then until next time, I guess. See you guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Willie.
Yep. See you.